Okay, welcome everybody to our Micro Moment slash Compound Stock Earnings podcast. We're going to have a full house today. We've got Micah's already here. I'm here. Randy's here, but in typical Randy fashion, it takes him a little while to get his earphones in and his lights on and everything. And then Tim will be here. So we're going to be in good shape. It is Thursday, the 30th. And tomorrow, Friday, is the 52-week anniversary of our micro moment trading, which we actually been doing it 3 years, but it's the first year it's been a subscription service. So we'll have a big celebration on that tomorrow. If you get a chance, go to our website, www.micromomenttrading.com. It's also the CSE website. You'll find out all the things that we do in micro moment, all the things we do in Randy's traditional covered calls and leap services, and what they cost, and if there's any free look at them before you have to pay for them or any of that kind of stuff. www.micromomenttrading.com, and check that out. Also, you can sign up for the Cow Report, which goes out every Friday. It'll go out tomorrow, stated on Saturday, but it'll go out every Friday, and has all the emails we get from everybody and what we say and what they say, and they, talk about their returns or any problems they have. It's totally absolutely free. It's been published for over 20 years now. And so we had one heck of a good day today in our Micro Moments seminar. We're up 5,091% for the year so far. As of last Friday, we always calculate on a Friday at the end of the week, which is 99.83% per week average. Today, we were up 16.16% over about 9 trades. 2 teeny tiny losses, each one for less than 0.5%. And we're at 43.87% for the week. So if we have a decent day tomorrow, we'll pretty much hit our average for the week. Randy, are you on there yet? I see your camera.
I'm here.
I just don't see any Randy. Randy disappeared.
I'm here.
Mike should be here shortly. Micah, this is just you and me. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions, just type them in on your YouTube thing there.
Randy,
pop up,
Randy's
and we
here.
can discuss those.
I'm here.
Hey, we see Randy. Joe, we see Randy.
I'm sorry?
Randy's here. We see him.
Well, echo or something. Anyhow, Micah, why don't you kind of start off since Randy won't cut on his camera or earphones, and Tim here short.
I'm here. Micah.
Go ahead, Micah.
Micah, can you see me?
Yeah, I see Randy.
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear and see you. Yeah, I think it's just Joe. You can't see Randy or hear him for some reason, but I can see and hear you both. So
yeah. Okay. Now, hey, Marcus, our engineer, I've got in the middle of my screen, right over Micah's head, I've got one of those where you press and something's supposed to go forward, a little arrow. Marcus, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not sure.
Still there?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what you're looking at there.
Huh.
weird.
Hey, go ahead, Mike.
Press and see what happens.
Yeah, cool.
There he is. There's Randy. Yeah.
Oh,
Randy.
Okay.
There you go.
Yo.
You had to accept him in or something. That's weird.
Yeah, I never had to do that before. You always disappeared.
Yeah,
How are you today, Randy?
Oh, doing great. Doing great.
Okay,
living life in my room.
Yeah,
there's that beach. There's that Beach Boy song by Brian Williams. In my room.
Yeah, exactly.
We should keep playing that one because that's why we're kind of just sequestered to our room now. It's of course now in Georgia we can actually venture out now. It's amazing, that you can actually live again.
Yeah,
and move around a little bit.
You can go bowling.
That's right.
I'm not sure I'm going to go to the tattoo parlor yet, but
you can get a haircut.
Yeah, that I need one because I haven't had one for a while.
I feel like a tattoo would be a good thing for you, Randy. I feel like that'd be a good thing for you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm incognito today with sunglasses so nobody will recognize me in a different hat. So Randy, we'll just start off with you like we usually do. Kind of explain to our folks here what your services are about. I've already told them about going to the website and checking it all out. It has all your services in there. And I don't know if you noticed, Randy, and I've sent you a couple of emails, but for some reason, the past 2 weeks, I've been getting emails from people that were clients of ours, yours, going back 18. I got one yesterday, 18 years, and they're still doing your services, and they want to go down to trade the moment. They don't want to drop your services. They just want to continue on because of the new service. And I just think that's amazing. Customers 12, 13, and then the longest 18 years. Yes, and we've been in business only about 20. So he was the original.
Yeah,
So
yeah. People,
they even have nice things to say about you. I don't know what's wrong with them, but
but that's what people will do. They'll learn how to do the trading. Sometimes they'll go off and just do it on their own, and then after a while they go, yeah, I might want to come back and see what's going on again, and then they start learning new things that they add into their quiver, and they can start doing that again. So it's great to hear from those people that have been around as long as I have. I started in 2006, so that's 14 years. And so I saw one of the emails that someone has been since like 18 years ago. That's great to have them come back and pick up on some of the new things.
Yeah, that one I sent it over to Sue Ann to have her contact him, because he said he wanted to take one of your courses, brand new. You want to know how much it was, and how could he get signed up for it. So you'll probably get a new one. Yeah, I don't know if anybody that's what we do. It's been around that long, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, the first thing, it kind of like the beginning, the base roots, the foundation of someone that really hasn't ever done any trading before is taking the 2-day covered call seminar, which you're getting ready to present here in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
That teaches you everything you need to know about doing covered calls the right way, the compound stock earnings way. Because when we do a covered call, totally different than what the market looks like a covered call at. Because we buy a stock and sell an in the money covered call for a positive called return. That means if you get called out, you get all your money back and you have a profit. And the whole goal is to get called out. And the reason why we sell in the money call is so the stock can even go down. It can go up, it can go sideways, it can go down. We still get called out, get all of our money back, and have a profit. This is the only place you learn how to do that. And so it all comes down to construction, how to put it together, and then how to read the chart.
And if you want to keep your stock, you don't want to get called out. You got complete control of that. You can go forever and not get called out of a position. A couple of things that they're important. Well, number one, Micah asked a while ago if he could attend that seminar, which is the 16th and the 17th. It's a 2-day seminar, about 9 in the morning Central Time to around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I conduct that. I'm going to be doing it a little different this time. We use GoToWebinar like we do on our Trade the Moment stuff. And I'm going to actually open up the mics and stuff so people can actually talk during the seminar. So Micah asked if he could be there. I said, well, absolutely, because you're going to hear people that have been with us for a long, long, long time and people that are brand new. And you can throw in a pitch for a micro moment. And why don't you join it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you want to, and kind of throw in the same things. People always love to ask you questions. I think we did that once before with the micro moment thing in the morning. So that'd be good. The other thing that's come to my attention, Shell, we just reduced their dividends 66%. They haven't reduced their dividend. It's gone up every year since World War II. Now, this fits in perfect for your technique there, where if you got an income producing stock, you love it, you don't want to get rid of it, but you can substantially increase your dividend yield by simply selling a near month out of the money call. If you get called out, you make money. You make money when you sell the call, and there's no way you can possibly lose money. And so you might kind of talk about that a little bit, because that's huge, because you got so many of these huge companies. I know Exxon's doing it. General Motors has pretty much limited their dividends, and people can make more of that simple technique and make more than the dividends would ever amount to in the first place. So you might give that a little pitch too.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, Joe, I'm working back and forth with Mike right now. He has thousands of shares in a company that pays a great dividend, that's still paying their dividend, and he's in it for getting the dividend. But he also wants to see, can he do that out of the money covered call that you're talking about, where you get extra money. So you're renting out that stock to somebody at a price it's probably not going to get to. And they're speculating, think it's going to, and you're saying, I don't think it's going to get there. You get the extra profit every week, and you're still generating the dividend without selling the stock.
And if you get called out, you make a profit on the call out. You just go back and you keep the profit you made by selling the call. You just go back and buy the stock for less, and you're right back in the game. So you're never going to lose that stock that you never did want to get rid of.
So we teach that technique and process as well. So you either enter a new position with an in the money cover call that you want to be called out, or if you already own a stock that you don't want to sell, you learn how to sell calls against that without selling the stock. And we have defensive techniques in case it does go up to where you didn't think it was going to go and you don't want to sell it. Then we have defensive techniques to keep you from being called out and generating additional income. So it's all in the 2-day seminar. So encourage people, if they're really wanting to start to learn how to do trade options with covered calls.
And that's powerful.
Get to the seminar.
That's really powerful. Look what's happened to Shell. This is the first time they've ever lowered it since World War II. So a lot of people depend on that dividend. A lot of probably companies, fund stuff depend on that dividend. And now you can do this technique, keep your shell, and make a higher yield than you ever had before. And with this whole cash crunch, there's lots of companies that have been paying dividends that are not, like Ford. Ford just announced they're not paying the dividend this quarter, and because they have to save their cash, they can't give it out to people. So people have been dependent on that dividend coming every quarter for their income. Now it's not going to be there. So that can be replaced by selling covered calls against those stocks. You can actually make more than the dividend, because the dividend comes once a quarter. The covered call comes every week. So. Yeah, you can make more. Normally, let's say you get your regular dividend plus you get this bonus on top of it on a monthly basis, even on a weekly basis. So you have a huge return versus just maybe the standard 4, 5, 6%, if it's even that high on the dividend. You can make at least twice that. And now that the stock's been cut, the dividend got 66%. My Lord, I mean, give me a break. So
Randy, with everything the way it is, we've seen some changes in like how things actually behave, the actual movement of a lot of aspects. What have you seen on? I mean, you're such a different time frame and operation. I mean, has there been any like major changes that you've had to make, at least for right now, while everything's different?
That's a good point, but not in the covered call process.
Okay.
Because we're selling the time value and we want it to go away. The thing that's happening now with the options environment is the market makers not always changing the premium appropriately as they should be. Sometimes an equity will go up $10 or $15, and so the call premium should go up, and it doesn't. They just keep changing the delta instead of changing the premium, and that's been happening for the last few weeks. That the change of the options premium is not going along appropriately as it should be, and they don't have to follow any set rules. It's just that's the way it always has been, but it is changing. So that's why
right now.
That's why, like the trade the moment and the micro moment trading, you really got to stay on top of it, because sometimes you go, oh yeah, it's going where, and then you're not going to make the profit that you thought. And that's just because those market makers don't have a clue what's going on in this market.
Okay. It is confusion. I was wondering if you had a theory on why that was. I figured it was just market confusion, but it's good to hear someone else with that opinion.
No, it's the market. The market is not a normal market right now.
That does confirm what we've been experiencing with the deltas. The deltas have been way off. And we've been wondering for weeks now what's going on with the deltas, and some odd movement in the bid prices.
Well, the weirdest thing is the delta's off in both directions. So if you have a 40 delta put, it'll be running actually at an 8 or 10. You'll get 40 cents and not 50-cent movement and not see anything, maybe 3 or 4 cents.
Mhm.
But then on the reversals, we saw one today. SPY pulled back really quick. I think it pulled back like 12 cents, and the option pulled back 8 or 9 cents in maybe 10, 15 seconds. So
and the volatility is pulling back pretty substantially from, it was up like 80, and now I think it's down to the 30s or the high 20s. And so as that volatility pulls back real quickly, that's what's changing the options, making the option premium not change as fast as it's supposed to be. It'll eventually will settle out, but we're in crazy times right now.
Yeah,
the market's going up when the unemployment's going. I mean, the economy is decreasing quickly, but the market's coming back because of all the money that's being thrown out there by not only our feds and country, but all the other countries around. And that money is coming over to our stock market. So there's a limited number of stocks and shares, and the money goes in, the prices go up, even though it's contrary to what the economy is doing. So eventually that'll balance out, but you got to just stay on top of it now.
If you're selling options, it's better for you, because the only thing that has an increased delta is the pullback. So if you're selling those calls, like you say, it's nothing but upside.
Oh, it's great for covered calls because the premiums are higher.
Hey,
it's okay if the premiums decline or don't decline. Eventually they'll go to no time value, and we're selling the time value in the covered call. So it's also a great time to be entering a new covered call position if you want to buy stock in a great solid company that's going to hang around, because it's 30% discount from what it was 2 months ago. And then by selling in the money calls with the deep in the money on the covered calls, you're also kind of insulating a little bit of yourself from a decline in the market, because it's okay if it goes down some and you'll still get called out. So, but it all comes down to the learning the rules of the construction of the position. And that's what Joe's going to be teaching in 2 weeks there with the 2-day seminar.
By the way, Tim, since you were the last one here, Joe Hooper, I'm incognito today. I figured you would not recognize me.
Yeah, who is that guy in the upper left there?
That's because he just came from Top Gun school, and he's been flying his jets all over there.
Right now, his name is Jim Looper. He's the best.
Okay,
Jim.
Bill's message here. Who wants to take that?
That's easy. I'll take it.
Okay.
Hello, group. I'm fixing to sign up. Do I need 2 monitors to watch and make the trades with Tim and Micah? You don't, but the more real estate you have, the better. I use 2 monitors. Micah has 8 or 10, I think, at this point. I've got to have 2 monitors to just have enough real estate. Of course, I'm getting older and my eyesight isn't as good as it was, so I need things larger.
Let me make
We have a couple clients that do it all on a 15-inch laptop screen. It is possible, so it's just kind of if you have access to 2 monitors, though, it certainly wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Dale brought out a new computer 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I mentioned it during the micro moment trading, and they just specifically designed it for traders. And it's so big, you can get everything in the world. I think it costs about $1,200, $1,300, something like that. But it's beautiful, and it's real thin. And but they say you can get anything a trader needs. I mean, you'd have to be a huge, big screen requirements if that thing didn't work.
You can see behind me, I'm remodeling my office. We got projects around the house now because you can't go around, and I'm remodeling the office, getting some shelves up, and I've mounted some TVs to be my monitors in front of me. I've got 2 32-inch TVs that are going up, and I just bought a new desktop computer that I can have 3 monitors running off the computer at the same time. Nice. And so I'm going to have that big screen up there, like Tim. The bigger the screen, the bigger the numbers.
Yeah.
Are we going to do the 90-degree rotation on all of them, so they're like sideways?
No, they're just stacked on top of each other. I got it's just it's sitting right. They're going to be right in front of me.
Okay, that's what I've seen people do it. Is they'll take three TVs and turn them sideways, and then
Oh
just
yeah.
a wall of screen. It's pretty
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
But when I'm traveling, like if I'm at the airport or whatever, I just have the one laptop and I can do all the trading, and you're just flipping around between the different screens, or you can have two or three screens open at the same time on your laptop. But so you can just use one, but when I'm sitting at my desk, I certainly have more than one going.
Yeah, Tim, before you got here, we first started, I told everybody, tomorrow is the end of our first year, 2 weeks as a subscription service. We've been doing it 3 or 4 years. Gave them all our returns for the year and so forth, and the returns for the day, which are astronomically good, and for the week about 43, 44%. Wow. And so maybe we'll have a good tomorrow, and it'll really, really be huge. And I want you to get in what y'all doing with returns today. Have you done anything since we broke the session up?
No.
Yeah. And then,
no, I haven't done any other trades.
But I was just getting ready to have Randy talk about how his returns are going this week. And so Randy, why don't you talk about that, and then we'll get over to
Yep. So first off with the covered calls. So Joe teaches the 2-day basic covered call, buy the stock, sell the call. I then teach the kind of the advanced version of that, which we call the platinum covered call service. It's a 2-hour, once a week, live in the market coaching webinar that you can attend and learn how to take it to a new level. So it's like the PhD of covered calls. And so within that service, when I find a position that I'm going to enter in my own account, I send out an email that says, this one I'm getting ready to do. So that you can follow along step by step by step and see real activity, but you put it in your virtual trading account as you learn. And so the positions that I entered last week, Netflix, in and out of it, 8.7% return. IBM, in and out, 16.2% return. Now, this is all the capital invested back and income of 16.2%. Gilead, 13.6% return. Caterpillar, 26.6%. Microsoft, 13.6%. The QQQ, which is the ETF for the NASDAQ, which I think, Tim, don't you trade that?
I do.
I was in and out of that, 13.6% return. JP Morgan, 11.1% return. Apple, 11.1%. Qualcomm, 33.3%. Disney, 11.1%. And Roku, 19.0%.
Yeah,
wow. Each of those.
What period of time were those over now? About?
The week. Just the week.
Fantastic.
Yeah, some of them were only 2 days, in and out in 2 days. Actually, Apple was 1 day. Yeah. And also the most that was invested per share on any of those was $2.20 or $2.30 in Netflix. So it wasn't hundreds of dollars. These are because I'm leveraging with the platinum covered call service. Instead of buying the stock, we're actually buying an option that's deep in the money to sell an option against, and therefore it doesn't take a whole lot of money in order to get into these positions.
Yeah, and so what you're doing is, instead of using margin, which is borrowed money, again, will get you in huge trouble when you're doing covered calls. You're not taking any risk there. You're probably getting leverage between 80 and 90% somewhere along the line instead of just 50%.
Absolutely.
Now, another big difference between what those returns that Randy was, those are weekly returns. Micah and Tim's transactions are only 15 to maybe 30 seconds long. You're back to cash. You're never in cash overnight. Now, the reason for that is it's the nature of that technique. When you take their seminar, it's a daily session, lasts about an hour, and you learn from them how to use specifically our advanced charting to understand when to enter the position, when to exit the position. That's why you're taking that seminar, and they're doing real trades with their real money. Now, if you add up their daily returns, like today, they had 16-something%. They're probably pretty much equivalent to what Randy's baked in a week also. But Randy's a totally different concept, in that he's actually buying an option on the stock and then renting it. And he can buy extremely long-term options, which would represent on the stock for a long term. and he can get in and out quickly if he wants to, but he doesn't have to. And so it's, if you really like to move fast, these transactions that are, 15, 20, 30 seconds long is the way to go. And Randy's is the way to go too, if you just don't want to do that, But what's interesting is, and I mentioned this a while ago, I've gotten probably over the last couple of weeks at least 10 emails, just 3 or 4 or 5 in the last couple of days. People that have been doing this with Randy for up to 18 years. Now, that's a long time. I know Randy looks a lot older than that, but 18 years. And they're still doing it. They're not necessarily taking this seminar every single day, but a lot of them do. And now they want to also learn about the micro moment. They're not giving up his stuff. It's been too good for them. But in fact, one letter got the guy's been with us 18 years, and he said he still hadn't taken one of Randy's courses, and he asked Sue Ann to sign him up for it. So these things really have value over the long term. I don't think there's anybody who's been around that long that I know of that does what we do. And now Tim usually sits here and we can look at his eyes, and we know he's trying to put together a deal because he's kind of shifty. I mean, you're shifty, but man, he just got off vacation. Spent a few weeks down in Gulf Shores. Got back yesterday.
Yeah.
So Tim, what have been your experiences today? And why should somebody, listen to you?
Why should somebody listen to me? Well, that's a good question.
Because they want to make money. That's why.
That's right. Because they want to make money. Absolutely. So I trade the Qs, and we trade the Qs and other TTFs because they're thickly traded. They generally carry a lot of volume and good liquidity and move. And I love this technique that we have where, we're in a trade for 20, 30 seconds at most, and we're back out to cash, and we're in cash 95, 98% of the time, which I love. And, with our exclusive charting system, it makes doing these trades really quite easy. There's just, oh goodness, look at Q. Wanting to jump into this trade here. Anyway, with our technique and our charts, it's very simple to do. The charts tell us almost everything we need to know to enter a trade and exit a trade. And I think Joe was mentioning about the leverage. This is one of the most highly leveraged plays that you can do in all of trading. The returns can be tremendous. So, what we teach is how to get in, where to get in, how to read the charts primarily, when to get out, and we pay a lot of attention to how to get out quickly, because that's the name of the game. And what we do with micro moment trading is, taking profit is easy. We can see the profit, but learning how to get out quickly is one of the most important things that we do here and we teach here. We like to keep our losses at 1 to 2 cents. Occasionally we have larger, but most of the time we end up around in that range. And if you keep your losses, which are inevitable, you keep them at 1 to 2 cents, you're almost guaranteed to be profitable.
Let me add to that, Tim. Today, y'all had 9 transactions, and your losses, one of them was an even transaction. One of them was 0.5%. One was 0.005 of 1%, and one was 1.28%. Now, the reason it's important and you instantly learn how to get out of these things very fast. The reason is they don't have the tools to manage these positions. They're not supposed to have the tools. They're supposed to be in and out. Randy does. He can stay in a position. You can decide to get out or stay in forever if you want to. He's got the tools, and that's what he teaches. The gentleman that was up before Daryl here.
It was a repeat question. It was about the trading screens. So the previous one.
No. This one said he's ready to sign up, but he had a question. This was the trading screen question. Marcus, can you put that last one back up there, and then we'll come to Daryl. Marcus.
I'm looking for it. I think it was the
Wait a
question.
minute, hold on. Get my little button here again.
Yeah, I think he was asking about. He's about to sign up, and he wanted to know about the number of trading screens.
Yeah.
No, this was a different question.
I'll look for it. If y'all go ahead and take this one.
It was just right up here before Daryl.
All right, let me look for. Well, there's a lot of people talking to each other on the chat today. They're really chatting with each other. So, if you'll take this one, I'll look for that one.
Okay, I can go back. I'm going to take Daryl now and go back because I remember what it was now. Okay, Daryl, I'm struggling with the trade bar on trade. Oh, Tracy, why don't you take that, Micah?
Struggling with trade bar and trade station. For you that don't know or not on a trade station, the trade bar is the order interface. Could you go over order, entry, and exit step by step and refer me to a link that can help? I'm trying to get faster and more proficient on micro moment. Yeah, we've had a lot of questions like this because of the closures, obviously. The people at TradeStation aren't there. So they have very limited support. It makes it hard. We're trying to help as many people as we can. Obviously we can't change anything within the platform for them because of our position legally, but we're trying to help as best we can. Yeah, it's a little bit lengthy, Daryl, so we'll go over that on the
Okay, now the other question in essence was this: they were ready to sign up. They wanted to know. They wanted to know if I don't know what that sound is.
We may have lost Micah.
Micah, you there? Maybe we did. Okay, well I'll go ahead and answer.
Frozen. Yeah.
Yeah. The gist of the question was when they start taking the seminar, how long is it before they're ready to start doing trading with real money? And the answer is immediately, but not with real money, with virtual money. Same thing as the real money things, and you can just learn it because you're going to be following what they're doing, and they're going to tell you exactly when they're entering and when they're exiting, and you're going to be watching that on the screen. So it doesn't take you very long to ramp up to where you can throw in a little bit of money and start doing it with real money. But in the meantime, you want to start immediately with the virtual money. The best way to do it, just get started, but don't risk any real money. Just use the virtual money, and you'll be up and running probably within a month. You'll be using real money and making good profits. Did either one of you guys disagree with that or have another comment on that?
I think it's up to the individual. I mean, I think you can start trading real money, the next day. It depends on what your comfort level is. Something that we recommend as an interim step is just trading one contract. As soon as you feel, because paper trading can not always be accurate. To get the real feel without risking minimal money is to trade one contract and slowly build up from there. But you can get this, especially in micro moment. We have so few guidelines in what we do. It's just becoming comfortable with the charts. And when you're looking over our shoulders and watching when we're entering and exiting a trade, I think it becomes obvious pretty quickly how to do it. So
when you see red, just think of like it's a bull right in front of you with those big red eyes.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of the way. Get it out. Micah, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I think my internet went whack for a second. I just cut off.
Okay. Let's get some more questions here. Anybody?
No, like I say, today people are talking a lot.
Going on here. Let me see what this is.
People are talking to each other a lot, and they have said a lot about paper trading not necessarily reflecting the actual, fills.
Yeah. That's something with paper trading you just have to be aware of. It can only get you so far, but if you write down your entry point, what your ask was at the point that you entered that trade, then you'll have you can get an accurate trade at that point. Because paper trading tends to fill really nicely and just give you excellent fills. And we've often wondered if that's by design, to get you in. But, if you do the one contract trade to get up to speed, then you'll get the full experience of trading without risking a bunch of money.
Okay, Frank.
Yeah, well, real quickly. One thing, though, that paper trading is going to allow them to do to start with is learn how to get around their trading platform, be able to enter the order and then have it execute and then enter the order to close it. So they need to get good with that, because especially with micro moment, that thing needs to happen in 10 or 15 seconds. So they can do that with paper trading, and then they can jump in with one contract once they feel like they can put the orders in and manage those appropriately.
Yeah, great point. Yep.
Okay, this is from Frank. What's a realistic option fee to ask for? I'm with TD Ameritrade, and they charge me $1 for a round trip. Micah, you want to get that one?
Yeah, $1 is, well, first, the last thing on the platform is just the key is simplicity for micro moment. You should be, I mean, I'm one click in and one click out, and I have 3 different ways to exit in one click. So that's important, right? All your confirmations are off. You're double checking everything ahead of time. You are your own confirmation, but you need that speed. TD Ameritrade, they charge me $1 for round trip. So you got 50-cent commissions. That's pretty good. It's pretty entry level. It all depends on your account size, how many trades a day you pull. It is a negotiation, right? Their fees are negotiable because they want you as a client. You are their main source of income. So, well, I'm not going to say that anymore because they changed the structure, but it is negotiable. So as your account gets bigger and you trade for longer, it's just a request. So just, once a month, just ask, just call up your guy and be like, hey, I've been making a lot of trades. Can you get me down to 40 cents a contract? You might say, no, we can get you down to 45 though, or 43. Cool. And then a month later, hey, can I do 35? And what's the worst they're going to say is no, but eventually they're going to say yes. And we have clients with commissions as low as 15 cents in and out, so 30. But I mean, you start at 65 walking in the door with most platforms. So you go from $1.30 to 30. That's a whole cent of profit added onto every single trade, which is significant. That's 1% every trade you make. So there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It's just a process.
Yeah.
I'll take this one too. Does day trading limitations apply to MMT? He's talking about pattern day trader. There's a rule: if you have less than $25,000 in your account, you can only make 3 day trades every 5-day rolling period. So if you have less than 25, you have to call into your platform and ask them to switch it to a cash account. The cash account settles every night, so you can spend whatever. It doesn't limit you on how many trades. You can just spend whatever money you have in the account, and then the next day you can do it again. If you're over 25,000, then it doesn't apply to you either. So day trading limitations, no, you can get around them very, very easily.
Yeah.
And to show you the power of that, if you only had $2,000, we talk about this all the time, $2,000 in your account at TD Ameritrade, and you just make 6% return a week. So you're easily going to do that between 1, 2, and 3 trades. Easily, 6% a week. In 24 months, you've got $806,000 accumulated in there. It's been compounded. You never put in any more money than that original 2,000. Of course, you got to keep, compounded, your earnings there. And you can easily do that, even if you had the restriction. Even if you had the restriction. Now, look, now he's got, let's get Joseph because Tim's having a heart attack here. And get Joseph before he passes out. Randy, you want to take that one up? That's yours.
Yep. Hey, Randy, I know you do a type of micro moment trading that's a little slower. Do you use different charts for your setups or just different patterns on the chart? Well, 2 things. One is I actually do my own micro moment trading. I just don't do it and teach it. In fact, while Micah and Tim were just talking, I actually
did you catch the foot?
Micro moment. I did a micro moment trading on my SPX because that's what I use as SPX. 45 seconds. This is in and out, 45 seconds, 6.7% return.
Yeah.
That was just one trade.
That was just one trade. Just while they were just talking,
if you go back to the $2,000 in the account, you could quit for the week.
Well, that's my 5th micro moment trading on SPX today. And that makes the total be 22.8% return on that money. The same money using over and over and over and over again. Yep. So to get back to Joseph's question. So I do micro moment trading using the same charts that Tony or Tim and Micah use. I've got the intraday streaming chart up, and there's one of my screens, and that's the proprietary compound stock or micro moment trading chart. That you got to have that chart to do micro moment trading. You can't have just some other. You got to have these charts that really help you get in and out and read the chart appropriately. I also teach that slower version of what we call momentum trading on Monday morning coaching webinar, and that does use a different chart. It's a daily chart, where the micro moment trading is an intraday streaming chart.
Wow.
We also have a daily chart that identifies the beginning of rising momentum cycles, and so that's where we get into a position, let it rise up, and get out. And those are usually a couple of days between entry and exit, not 40 seconds. It's a couple of days between entry and exit.
Yeah, let me see what other thing. The 2-day traditional covered call seminar and leaps seminar is going to come up 16th and 17th. I'll be teaching it, but I have requested that these gentlemen do a cameo appearance. Micah, Tim on here at the time, he's invited too, and Randy. And this is going to be different this time. We never have that open mics on it. We do open mics on Friday on micro moment trade, but we're going to do it on this 2-day thing. So you can call in and ask any questions. You can talk to other people, whatever you want to do. So it's going to be a lot of fun, versus the one where you never got to say anything except just type in a request or a message or a note or something like that. And you can email Sue Ann at our office, or just do support@micromomenttrading.com if you want to sign up for that seminar. If you've been there before, you don't pay for it. If it's brand new, you pay for it. And so it's really going to be good, and really going to be good. So.
And Joe, I've got it down on my calendar, and I'll coordinate with you the times that I can be there. I plan on being on for a while.
Mike can do that, and Tim. I mean, they may not be there very long, but they may hang around. They can hang around as long as they want. But you'll be able to talk to them on the phone.
16th, right?
The 16th and the 17th.
Okay. Cool.
Saturday and Sunday. So either day or both days, however you want to do it. So
I will absolutely be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, guys, we've been here about 45 minutes. Anybody have any last questions? Because we only allocated an hour here. Any last questions we can get to before we hang up the phone? Might put them up now. Had some good questions. So
yeah, it's good stuff. Thank you. Martha says thank you, Martha.
I'm always amazed at how these guys do trades during this podcast. Yeah.
It's not as easy as doing it when it's not on the podcast. But yeah, we can still see the charts, and we know what we're looking for on the setup, and we've got our trading screens right there handy, and so we can still get in and out.
Yeah, there's one other thing I want to mention here that pretty much related to one of the last callers. People say, well, we've never heard of anything. This is impossible. You can't do anything. And the reason for that is you're ignorant, number one. Number two is that the stockbrokerage business, investments, are the slowest moving entity on the face of the earth. We've been doing this 20 years. Before we started this, I've been doing this 59 years. I calculated the other day. And it started out when you just had to call a broker at Merrill Lynch, let's say, and you couldn't get quotes on stocks, and you do a covered call. I learned from my dad. We've been doing it 20 years before that, so we've been doing it a long time. But what has changed is the online brokers, the availability of the information on the internet, the option price and the stock, everything, and the ability, in the case of Randy's stuff, to handle all this stuff and managing positions. Mm-hmm. And it didn't exist. That's why you have never heard of it. And if somebody says to you, well, that's a bunch of bull, kick them in the ass and tell them to get out of your house, because it's the dumbest thing on the face of the earth for people to talk like that. And here's Randy. There's a message for you.
Hey, good to hear from Stephen. Used to actually get to visit him when I played my baseball tournaments down in Florida. So he's a great guy. Been around for a long time.
Yeah. He
says, why do I use SPX? As the spread seems wide, they seem to be very expensive calls and puts. They are more invested capital than you'll get with like the QQQ or Apple, but it's less contracts. And so if you're only going to do one contract, like with QQQ, you're only going to be using like $100. If that's all that you have, then you need to use like those ETFs. But I use SPX for a couple of reasons. One is the tax advantages. So the index options have different tax on with the IRS. It's called 1256. So you have to talk to your tax advisor or tax accountant or whatever. But it's you pay less income tax on the earnings with the SPX compared to like QQQ or Apple. So that's one thing. Also, there's thousands and thousands and thousands. The liquidity on SPX is just unbelievable. So even though the spreads are wider, the fills are still about at the midpoint, which is the same as QQQ or Apple. And you can get in and out of them so fast because there's thousands of contracts that are traded every day. So that's why I use it. I also follow SPX on my charts because of covered calls, because I'm also looking at longer term charts during the day of where the market's going. So it just kind of fits naturally in with me. But everyone can choose what equity that they want to use. It's the same process, and you use the chart for whatever that you want to do.
Micah used to just use Apple, but now he has a contentious relationship with Apple and knocks around and everything. So he quit using these on Microsoft now. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Microsoft is a great one, though. Yeah. I like Microsoft. I actually, well, you saw that I had Microsoft last week for the covered calls. I have it again this week for covered calls. It's a great one.
Yeah, it's just the only symbol I've found. I mean, the only like individual company I've found that's actually a little bit stable. Like the bounciness and the fluctuations have been so aggressive on everything. Like SPY was just bouncing around too much. So that's why, Microsoft is just a little bit calmer and smoother. So you enter in between the bid ask, Randy? About that.
I'm almost always using the
midpoint. Okay.
Yeah, and it moves fast enough up and down that it fills really quickly.
Holy smokes! Look at this move down. Wow.
Whoa! Something just happened.
Wow.
Yeah,
somebody must have said something, because there wasn't any report that was due out at 11:45. But yep, the market just took a pretty good sell-off right there.
Yeah, and talk about the down market. One of the things we never worry about, most people say, "Oh man, the market's down. It's going to be a bad day today." We don't care. We don't care if it's down. We don't care if it's up. We're moving in either direction based on the what trades we can find out there that are going the right way. And we're not going to be in them. Randy's not going to really be in them, And so it makes every day is a great fresh day for investing. We never get depressed about anything because we're not in anything.
Right.
So,
Yeah, nice momentum on Q today. Some really nice long legs.
And Tim is primarily QQQ.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's looking good. But all three of the SPY, Microsoft, and Q have all been doing very nicely today.
Okay. And we're doing proper distance. I'm in Rico, and
yeah, we're using miles as the spread between us, not feet.
Right. In fact, I think Randy and I are probably the closest together.
There we go.
Micah's in Seattle, so
we're diagonally opposite from Micah.
Yeah, literally couldn't be farther unless you guys are in Florida.
Hey, Randy, we had a terrible day a couple of days ago. Micah's side of the country just had terrible internet connections, and everybody in that seminar on the eastern shore, had great everything. It was going good. It lasted the entire session.
No, three times a day here, it'll just stop for everyone here. Just like I don't know if they're servicing or getting.
That's because you have everybody from Amazon, Microsoft. They're all working from home using huge broadband. They've got the Zoom video going with 85 screens talking to all their people, and they're using up all your bandwidth.
Yeah.
You got to come out. So you come out here to Georgia, where we're sparsely populated, and
y'all still use dial-up. Yeah, y'all are still using dial-up.
We've got a separate modem box.
I want some.
But I do always have backup internet. I have so if the cable internet goes out, I have backup through cell that one of them will always be working so far. So unless there's a EMT that wipes out all communications, I'm good to go. Because when trading is your business, you got to have backups. You
have power supply, all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I have a backup just the cell phone, the iPhone. It's got that where you can tie in.
Make a hotspot. Yeah,
hotspot. Yeah, so it works out real good. Okay, well, we're about out of time. Any more questions? Last minute questions? We only got a few minutes here. They jumped all over me when I almost ran over an hour the other day. So, well, you guys, thanks for being here. If you want to sign up, attend, or to get the Cal Report, go to www.micromomenttrading.com. Cal Report's free. It's been published for over 20 years. If you want to sign up for that seminar on the 16th, 17th, Cover Calls and Leaps Wealth Options seminar, these gentlemen will be there, and you can talk to them in person. And they're not going to be there the whole time, but they'll maybe spend 30 minutes to an hour there or something like that.
Not quite in person, I guess. But
I'm sorry?
Not quite in person, I guess, but
yeah. But anyhow,
we'll be live. We'll be live though.
Thanks everybody for being here, and thank you four guys for being here. I'm thinking of myself because I don't even know who I am. Look,
Marcus is there, so there's four guys.
Marcus, that's right. There you go. And Marcus, do you have a gig this weekend or anything?
Good Lord, man! Where would we have a gig?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No,
you do a living room concert.
Don't you do like all the other singers and stuff? They got their YouTube going, for an hour or whatever for people to log in.
Yeah, no. We're waiting for life to start again. We'll be out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay. Thank y'all very much, and we'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care.
Everybody stay safe. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.